Hello guys, this is NorCalDude599 with another video for today. So earlier I went to my local Goodwill, to see if I could find any Famiclones that, usually you would find at any local thrift store or whatever. And today I actually happened to find one. And this one is actually pretty much the common Famiclone that you could possibly find. Well, not possibly, but most definitely find. And it is none other than this. Yep, this is the Super Joy 3 or Super Joystick TV game, or as it says on its box, yes, did get the box, Power Player. And for some reason it's always the original new edition. I don't know why, but yeah. And yes, it does have 76,000 games on there, and they're not truly all 76,000. So set the box over there to the side and take a better glance at the console. Yes, this is the console right here. This is basically where everything is all and whatnot. So as you can obviously tell, it's shaped just like a Nintendo 64 controller. And yeah, so right here we have the D-pad, which surprisingly the D-pad on this one is a little bit better than the D-pad on the Power Joy. Power Joy is the pad is a little bit more stiffer than this one, but this one is not that bad. Here we have a reset button, have a start and select, have a B and A buttons right here, and then you have Turbo B and Turbo A on top. And then right here you have a quote-unquote analog stick, which is obviously just decorative and yeah, doesn't really do nothing at all. I can't even move the damn thing. But yeah, and as always with the Famiclone like this, it's obviously cheap, although plastic is not too terribly cheap, but still cheap nonetheless. And obviously you have Super Joy 3, Super Joystick TV game, which on some of these clones, these ones are engraved onto the controller. Some of them are just like this. Anyways, take a look at the side. Have your on and off switch. Then you have your 9-volt DC power supply, which I'm going to be using because unfortunately I don't have batteries, so I'll talk about that later. And then right here is the DB9 Famiclone port for obviously the light gun or the 2-player controller. Right here you have your standard audio video connections, composite video, mono sound, and it has this QC passed, which I'm pretty doubtful that it was QC passed, but I don't really care. Made in China right here, obviously sticker, where sometimes some of them are just like these, just on there. And then right here is the battery pack, where normally on a Nintendo 64 cartridge or controller, this would be where the memory card is at. So yeah, you can see it takes 4 AA batteries. Now if you could open this up, it's a little bit difficult to open up for whatever reason, but it's pretty common on these Super Joy Famiclones. Oh, almost got it. There we go. See, this is where you insert the batteries, or at least that's what this was designed for. I've seen in some videos where some people own Power Joy or Super Joy, and they try putting AA batteries in there. I seen that the battery pack is actually a bit too short to fit AA batteries onto here. And no, this does not take AAA batteries either. It will only take AA's. But I think if you get a specific brand of AA batteries, you could actually use them use them on here. Actually, fun fact, this is my second Super Joy Famiclone that I've owned. I had a red one, but that one, went to absolute garbage. For one thing, the A button on my old one popped out for no apparent reason. So, yeah. But I think if you use dollar store batteries, they will fit onto the battery pack. And that's not how it goes. It goes like this. And just goes back in here like that. See? And then right here you have the 60-pin Famicom port. The 60-pin Famicom connector, which you could play Famicom games on here. See? Just like that. Now the only bad thing about this particular console is that when you're playing Famicom games with this, cartridges have a tendency to move, and if they move too much, you could potentially cause the game to crash, or it could potentially cause the game to crash. So just gotta keep in mind that, you know, if you're playing Famicom games, like for example, if you're playing Super Mario, then just gotta keep in mind, well, why would you want to play Super Mario on this where you could actually play it on a real Famicom or AV Famicom, etc. But just to prove a point. So yeah, there's the 60-pin connector. You could also play NES games here with an adapter if you have a, I think it's the 72 to 60-pin adapter, or the other way around, I don't know. But anyways, we'll toss that to the side. Take a look at the second player controller. And here's the second player controller, which looks exactly like the Sega Genesis. And just like how I compared the Power Striker controller with the Sega Genesis one, that's what I'm going to do with this one. Get my Sega Genesis controller. As you can see, there they are. Obviously this is the Mega Fire controller, but still it's a simple Sega Genesis controller. So you see you have the A, B, and C buttons right there, and then right here. And then right here are the turbos. C is basically A all over again. So it goes like this: A, B, A, Turbo B, Turbo A. And then right here, to compare the D-pad. D-pad on this one is a little bit smoother than on the real Sega Genesis. And then some of you might be asking, what the heck is that for? Well, let me show you. This may make you laugh, which I'm about to show right now. Doesn't that look pleasant? No, it doesn't. This thing is just, this gets in the way, so I'm not even gonna bother using this damn thing, which I don't even know why they decided to include this. Like, what? You think that you're gonna play it arcade style, I guess, but no, it's just gonna get in the way, and it's gonna be rather annoying. Just get this out of here, and don't mind the dogs barking in the background. I think my dad is home, but we'll see. And we'll take a look at the, see, DB9. So this controller will only work with Famiclone systems. It won't work with Sega Genesis or Atari 2600. And this Sega Genesis will not work on there because this one uses a special type of DB9, which will only work with Sega Genesis type systems. And as you could tell, I still have the wrap, because when I got this, it actually was brand new. It looked like it was never used, so just put that back on there. Now we'll take a look at the light gun. See, here's the gun. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's not that bad. Could be better, but it's not that bad. It feels very light. Obviously, it's cheap. And then once again, DB9. By the way, I'm not going to be using this period, mainly because when I test this out, I'm going to be testing it on a HD TV, and of course, light gun games are not compatible with HD televisions. They're only compatible with CRTs, so I know there's a couple of people out there that still own a CRT television, and you can play light gun games there, but most of us own HD televisions, so that's basically useless. Now we'll take a look at the instructions that came with the system. Set this to the side. See, here's the instructions. Obviously it tells you what each button does and what function of the button is. See, it has the AV cable, got the power supply, got the light gun. Take a look at the back. Now obviously here it doesn't show a picture of how to insert the game cartridges onto the system, but as you saw earlier, they go like this. Whoops. Yeah, they go like that, with the label facing down. Very similar to the Power Joy. And I would do a comparison with the Power Joy, but the Power Joy is in a container, and the container I took it to my storage unit, and I'm too lazy to go get it. So, unfortunately there won't be no comparisons with this. So, yeah. Let's see. So I guess now the next thing to do is set this game up onto my HD TV. And we'll take a look at what... Oh yeah, one more thing. When there's no cartridges on here, it brings up a menu of the 76,000 games that it claims to have. Huh, that's weird. It's kind of like a weird thing right there. Probably won't be a big deal. But anyways, booting this system up without a cartridge will bring up a menu of different games that it has. Most of them consist of Famicom games. There are a few NES games on there too. But yeah, so let me go set this up onto my TV, and from there we'll look at the games. Okay. Hold on, let me fix the focus a little bit. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, I have the camera facing the TV, and then with the Super Joy clone hooked up to it through the AV cables that are right here, and then the and then the 9-volt DC power hooked up and ready to go. So now what I'm gonna do is turn on my TV and then show you the games that it has. Again, this is without using the cartridge. So actually, let me turn up the sound a little bit. And here we go. Right there, as you can see, well, since it didn't load up, since it has a weird refresh rate, I'll go ahead and hit the reset button. Right there, you're greeted to the fun time 76,001. Stupid card. Oh, but anyways, as you can see, we have all these games that are built onto here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, when selecting a game, you want to hit the start button, and then to go a page forward, you push the select button. So like this. And then to go back, you push the B button. So it'll like kindly take you back to 76,000, which obviously I'll have that. Let me turn up the volume a little bit more. There we go. So you see, we have the Contra, which is the NES version, Contra. And then you have Night, which I don't remember what it is specifically. Have World Soccer, which is Nintendo Black Box Soccer. King of Fighter is ER Kung Fu. Tekken is Karateka or Karateka, however the heck you say that. WWF, which is the NES game Muscle, or in this case the Famicom version Muscle. Tetris 2 is Tengen's Tetris. Super Mario is Super Mario Brothers. Arkanoid is Famicom Arkanoid. 1942, Star Force, and so on. So now we'll hit select to go on here. And I think it starts repeating right at the... right about... right about here is where it starts repeating. See? See, because now you have Ecterion, which was back over here, number 21. So I guess in all things, this system only has about maybe 75 to 80 games on there. The rest are all repeated, which again, you know, it's kind of expected. So, whoops, I'm going back, I'm going forward. Now, I'm not necessarily going to be playing all the games, but I'm just going to only play a few. So we'll go with Contra and, whoops, Contra. Again, this is the NES version, Contra. And I'm not going to bother with the Konami code. And another thing you will also notice is that the sound on this clone, as you can tell, it does not have the correct sound. I'll just play through this stuff. And I died. How cute. Ooh, the spread gun. This is my favorite type of gun. When I play Contra, I always like to play with the spread gun. I don't know why. See? Works a lot better. Okay, then we'll get this one. There we go. We'll go up here. There we go. And I died again. Okay, I'm done dying. So let's play Super Mario. And as you can tell in this version of Super Mario has a different title screen, and on the top where would normally say Mario, it says score. But it's basically the same game. So we're gonna hit, oh, another thing about this one. This one enables the world selection. Unfortunately, this one ain't the 256 world one, so it would be nice, but it's alright. So, play some Mario. Once again, incorrect sound. Whoops. As you can tell, I haven't played Mario in a while. Whoops. There we go. Now I hit reset. Oh yeah, another thing about this clone, it produces the horrible jail bars that you would normally see on all Famiclones, and also with the NES 2 top loader, which was released here in 1993. So yeah, you will notice that a lot. Let's play some Pacman. Actually, I gotta turn down the volume. Turn on the volume a little bit more. It's actually I think this one is the Famiclone version. And I died. Okay. Now, let's go over here. Let's play some Dig Dug. Let's see. That'll work. Where was I? Dig Dug. Pretty cool Namco classic. You know, where you basically have to blow up these guys with the... Whoops. And I missed. Okay, we'll reset. We'll play 2 more games. See, this is the one where you require the light gun, but again, light gun does not work on an HD TV, so I'm not going to bother. Let's see, which one should we play? Ooh, let's play some Road Fighter. Road Fighter is a Konami game, released only for the Famicom. So I'll play it briefly. Again, incorrect sound emulation, as you would expect on almost every Famiclone. I haven't played Road Fighter in a long time either. I guess I'll make room for one more game. Let's see. Go back down. Play some Magic Jewelry, which is basically an unlicensed Famicom game, where you basically match all 3 of the same jewels, similar to Sega's Columns. play it briefly. And I've played this game personally on the emulator that I have on my laptop. And believe me, the sound sounds a lot better on the emulator and not through a clone. Okay, so that one can go there. I guess this one I can set it to the side. And yes, I have played columns before, so I pretty much know what I'm doing. It's all about strategy. Although sometimes I do make mistakes, but yeah, it's expected. Actually, this one I'm going to set it right there. This one I can set it right there. Ooh, there's a green one. See, sometimes you actually come out with great combos, as you saw earlier. This one's gonna go down there, see? And now here's that one block where you basically clear everything. And I guess that's it for the built-in games. I'll turn the system off. And really quick, I will demonstrate the games with the cartridge. So again, we'll put this one on here. There's my 401 cartridge. Let's play a few games on here. Let's play Artistas Ring. It's a pretty good game, actually. Yeah, we'll take care of that last one over there. Again, you could clearly see the horrible jail bars. But, you know, once again, it's a Famiclone, what are you going to expect? Reset. Let's see, which other one shall we play? Alright, Tetris 2. Which again is Tengen Tetris, but with the title screen modified to completely different. To make it say something different. Okay, and we'll put this right here. Whoops, sorry about that. I had to go take care of something, but I'm back now. And I guess we'll have time to play one more game. We'll play this one. And let's see, where's this? Right here. So you can see I'm playing Super Contra. This is the Famicom version. And yes, I did select the one with the spread gun and also with the 30 live code. Oh, damn it. Sometimes I'm good at Some days I'm good at playing Contra, some days I'm not. Again, you could definitely see the horrible jail bars. Actually, you can notice them a lot more on some games like Super C. So I'll just complete the first level really quick. And of course I got the flare gun. Alright. I'll get the... There, got the spread gun back. Actually, in terms of the DPCM channels on this one, it actually does emulate the sound effects pretty good. Okay, here we go to the first boss battle. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. And yes, I'm using turbo, but I'm using, damn it. I am using the turbo buttons for this, because it's a lot easier to use the turbo buttons on a game like Contra. Okay, let's play one more game. Some games are quite interesting. Oh, let's play some Dig Dug 2. This is a sequel that was released for the NES. Do that. And I guess that's about it. So let's give this clone an overall rating. So I guess in terms of emulation, it does pretty good. The only downside to it is the sound. You know, it's not the correct sound that you would expect on real NES or Famicom hardware. And I'm pretty sure this clone uses a glob top technology as opposed to actual chips. Because obviously this is a NOAC, meaning Nintendo on a chip. And I'm pretty sure that there's a glob top somewhere in here. But I'm not going to bother taking the console apart because I don't really feel like it. And if I do, yeah. But anyways, this has been a review and overview. I guess you could say unboxing / review of the Power Player or Super Joy or Super Joystick TV game, whatever the hell you want to call this thing. This thing has so many names that it's basically impossible to keep up with, whatever. I'm just going to call it the Super Joy 3, just because it has Super Joy 3 right there. And yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. I know my camera fell a few times. Yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's expected. Until I get an actual tripod, then this is all I have to deal with for now. So, anyways, this is NorCal Dude 599, and I guess I will see you guys next time.